In the Torah portion of Teruma, God tells Moses, I want you to go tell the Israelites that everyone, I want a portion from every Israelite, everyone whose heart motivates them to give, take from them. And Rabbi Yaakov Abuhatzeirah and the Maggid of Zlotchov want to understand, they notice, interestingly, that this verse talks about only taking from those who are motivated from their hearts, right? That have this sort of internal motivation to give, and they both want to understand, so what are we really talking about here, right? If the Torah is applicable always, then it's not only about this portion through which we're going to create the tabernacle, but there's something that we can take for our daily lives until this very day. So we'll start with the Maggid. The Maggid of Zlotchov tells us that his father used to have a zettel, used to have a little note. And on the note it said that before every commandment, right, every commandment that you do, whether it's building a sukkah, davening, praying, doesn't matter what, you need to say L'Shem Yichud Kudsha Brichu. What's L'Shem Yichud Kudsha Brichu? That your intentions are that every commandment that you keep, you are unifying the Godhead. You're sort of, you're making sure that everything is one unit, whatever that means, right? And he says, why is this important? Right, this is a sort of introduction to the verse. He says, because we know that we live in a physical world, and a lot of the commandments are physical. For example, taking an etrog, again, building a sukkah. These are physical things, and they require the mind and heart to come together with the physical matter, with the action. And therefore, we need to, you need to first do a sort of yoga, if you like. You need to get your mind straight before you even say L'Shem Yichud Kudsha Brichu. Before even uttering that you want to do this commandment for the sake of unifying the Godhead, whatever that means, you need to first get yourself in a certain state. You need to kind of meditate. Once you're ready, you then need, to say these words with full conviction. And when you do this, then the commandment that you keep will do what it needs to do. And what does this commandment do? It protects you from evil, and he quotes a verse. And then he says, now if we look back at the verse, when the verse says, I want you to take a portion, he says portion, Teruma means elevation, and taking means keeping commandments. So when we keep commandments the right way from our heart, then what happens, and not just by uttering them from our lips, but actually saying it, then we are able to push the action of these good deeds higher up they rise and do what they need to do, and there's the whole party in the heavens, and they're unified, and then they pour down this sort of influx of blessings, and everything's great. That's the way the Maggid understands it. Rabbi Yaakov Abuhatzeirah, interestingly, he looks at the word heart, right? You need to give a portion all those who are motivated from the heart. And he says, what do the sages teach us about, what one needs to do from the heart, with a conviction, is pray. So this Teruma, this portion, is actually talking about how each and every one of us need to pray with intent. Why? Rabbi Yaakov says we need to understand that when you pray and you do it without intention, it's just like having a regular mundane conversation. But you need to understand that prayer with intention, with conviction, does something. It's an action. It's these words go up, and they are meant to make things happen. They're meant to go up, they're meant to push the Shekhinah, push the sort of aspect of God up, to do good things in the upper worlds. And therefore, and in order to do that, this verse is telling us you have to do this with conviction. So it's interesting that both the Maggid and Rabbi Yaakov notice the word heart. They notice that this idea of the portion is talking about something that we can apply to our daily lives. But while Rabbi Yaakov takes it to the direction of prayer, the Maggid takes it to the direction of saying this L'Shem Yichud Kudsha Brichu, the idea of unifying the Godhead before in each and every one of the commandments. Shabbat Shalom.